In this video, we'll review how to work with seamless garments in 3D. To create and visualize seamless garments in 3D, we must stitch the pattern pieces so we can dress the garment. There are a few ways we can create the pattern pieces. In this example, we start with a leggings pattern that we already had. After stitching, with the default stitch construction, the inside seam and the seams in the rise and the waist are visible. In a seamless garment, we want a flat seam or no seam. To remove those seams, we select an edge and change the stitch construction. We can do this to all the seams at once by using a marquee selection of all the pieces, then changing the stitch construction to flat seam. Now there's no visual indentation of the seams. To create different areas in the garment, we start by creating cut marks. First, we use the pen tool to draw lines in the 2D or 3D window. Then we select the lines to go to the context view. In the Line Properties section, we select Cut Mark. We can also enable Show in 3D if we want to identify the cut marks on the body before we fill them in. Let's go ahead and choose different fabrics to fill the new areas in. This helps us decide if we want to make any changes to our design. When working with this kind of garment and using different fabrics, they may have different physical behavior. To create those effects, instead of using standard cut marks, we create closed cut marks. To do this, we use the same process, but in addition, we turn on the snap to point and edge and the trace function. Then we draw a closed cut shape. We keep tracing along the edge to create the style lines and then close the shape. With the Select tool, we choose the line and turn it into a cut mark. The difference in the cut mark is that it supports fabric physics. If we assign new fabric to the cut mark, the blinking dress button tells us that new simulation is required. Note that when we dress the garment, the shape changes because we used a rib knit that has physical properties that are different from the jersey we use for the rest of the leggings. Let's open the pressure map to see these differences. The pressure map shows us that on this leg, it's looser and there is less pressure on the body. In this garment, we use the closed cut marks approach. We have different areas marked on the body that have different fabrics assigned, all with a nice seamless look where they come together. In the bra, we use this technique as well. We map different areas of the body and fill them in differently to create the same effect. Let's look at another example. This garment is a looser seamless style. In the cuff, we would like to have a different type of knit. Let's look at another way we can represent that. We start by creating the cuff, cloning the edge for reference. We activate the trace option, and with the pen tool, trace around the edge to create a closed cut mark. We must ensure the last point is marked with a circle, signifying that our shape is closed. Under Line Properties, we select the cut mark. Then we assign the fabric. Let's open this fabric physics and enable the shrink option. This feature includes a density calculator. Note that there is one calculator for the width and one for the length. We open the width calculator. We can change the loop width distance and the loops per distance. We change the loops per distance to 15. In the physics window, this appears as a percentage. To review the change we made, we click Dress. The closed cut mark area is tighter than the rest of the sleeve, and of course it's seamless. Lastly, here are a few recommendations for using these functions. To create the pattern pieces of a garment where we have a picture of the garment, we can import the picture to Adobe Illustrator and mark the outlines, for example, of a shirt with a solid line. Then we import the AI file into Vstitcher. Each of these sections comes in as a separate piece. Another way to create these patterns is to add the image of the garment as a fabric. We set the scale to the proper size and use this fabric to fill the pattern piece. We use the pen tool to trace the different areas to create closed outlines. Note that snap to point, snap to edge, and trace are enabled. Using this method, we created the seamless bra example that we showed earlier. When creating a closed cut mark, we can also join lines. For example, we create this line and make a copy of it and trace the outlines. We then choose both points. Go to the context view and click Join. These two parts appear to be on equal planes. That's because both fabrics have the physical property thickness set to 0. Using this option creates a smooth look that fits the seamless design. If we want one of the pieces to pop out a little, we can change the thickness value to create the style effect we want. In this video, we reviewed some of the ways to work with seamless 3D garments. For more information, go to our Help Center at support.browseware.com.